topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Camping Show. I'm C.W. Getz.
And I'm Bianca Cahew.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, November 9th, 2022, and I am happy to report that we had a 75-degree day here in north central Illinois. So
was it, or maybe in Arlington, 75, or I thought that was tomorrow.
75, baby. And I checked it, and I got to tell you, yeah. In fact, you know what? Your station confirmed that. That's the first place I got it, and then I checked Siri.
So maybe, it was really warm.
Yeah, it really was.
I still had to wear a hoodie outside. I was outside for about an hour and a half this afternoon, but the gnats are dying off, and they're crazy.
You see, that's where you city people.
God, they bite so bad. All I had was my neck exposed from my hoodie, and they were getting me.
That's what you city people don't get. See, out here in the country, I was in my bikini all day, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I would have been too. The bugs weren't angry; they were dying and just started biting people.
You've been to my house. This has been deemed the blow zone. Bugs don't stand a chance out here, man. They can't even keep the little flight thing going on. They're just blown away.
Yeah, I know. I would have just climbed up on your roof and got my last tan in.
Yeah, you didn't have to go to the roof for that, man. But yeah. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful day here today, and we're thankful for that. I think we got some more of that coming, if I'm correct. You probably know more than I do about that.
I believe it should be tomorrow. Should be the last real warm day.
Oh no!
So because on Friday it's going to be about mid-40s, so it's going to drop.
All right. Well, I'm not going to wash my bikini until after tomorrow, then, so that'll be good, right?
Yes.
One more day.
Yes.
Well, tonight's episode of the Camping Show is brought to you by Campground Views, making camping easier.
And Rutabaga Paddle Sports, providing time on the water.
Tonight's episode is Canadian Outdoor Adventuring from a Ukrainian digital creator's view with our special guest, Arina Varavkina. And why don't you tell us a little bit about Arina, please?
Mm-hmm. Nature addict, digital creator, and outdoor adventurer, 36-year-old Arina Varavkina was born and raised in Ukraine. She earned a master's degree in law, bachelor's of arts in English, grammar, and literature, and specialized master's degree for prosecutors, all in Kharkiv, Ukraine. Arina went from there to work as a prosecutor in Kyiv, Ukraine, before moving to Canada in 2016. Her first job in Canada was in 2018 as an administrative assistant and office manager at an outfield training company in Calgary, where she met people from all over the world, including students from Ukraine and Russia who had come to Canada to earn certification for working in the oil field industry. In an effort to advance her career in 2019, Arina enrolled in a 2-year course for graphic design at Reeves College in Calgary. Upon graduating in 2021, she began working as a freelance graphic designer and an ambassador for the GTF Outside Company. It's a local family-owned outdoor apparel company that raises mental health awareness and encourages people to spend time adventuring outdoors. Most recently, Arina has become a social media specialist at a company in March of 2022. As a graphic designer, Arina created custom-designed Stand with Ukraine hoodies and t-shirts with the Ukrainian symbol and colors for the Ukrainian Women's Support Network she's part of. The shirts are being sold to help those in Ukraine who have been severely affected by the war.
With that,
welcome Arina. Yes, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Thank you for having me today.
How are you doing up there? How was your weather up there in Canada?
I was so jealous to listen to how nice and warm the weather is at your place. And here in the morning it was -18, and then during the day it warmed up to -15.
Wow.
Still, the snow is quite crispy and the sun is shining, which is making the spirits a bit high. But I'm waiting for it to warm up to go outdoors.
I saw that you had snow there. In fact, ice, and I think you sent me a message here this week, and you said, "Oh, it's icy out." I'm thinking, "Oh boy, am I glad I live where I live right now." So
Yes, it was tons of snow. One day we didn't even let the kids go to school because we
wow,
couldn't drive them there.
wow.
Everything was covered with snow. Right now the roads are icy. There were lots of incidents, but today was much better. Let's hope for the weekend it's going to warm up and we'll return back to normal.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you made it through that ice safely and all. Hey, I
You know,
forgot to.
and it's not typically like this here. So don't worry. We're usually bitter cold. I remember we had one Halloween where it snowed significantly. I think that was in 2019, if I can recall,
Oh,
because that was crazy. So the kids couldn't even trick or treat. It
Mm.
had snowed so much. So we've
yeah.
had pretty bad fall seasons like that. The in between seasons are like they can sometimes be either one or the other, and they're usually very, very cold. So we've kind of been blessed with something special this fall, which has been pretty nice.
If your
Well, that's
costume was
good.
Frosty the Snowman, I think you'd have been fine there in that year. But hey,
I
For
know.
sure.
I forgot
We're
to
just
mention this. How about these cups? You guys like I just got these. These are
Oh, it looks
the
cool.
official camping show cups. Look at that. That's
so
yeah,
cute.
Looks
yeah. This one's not
amazing.
autographed though, so I don't know. Bianca, I'm waiting for you.
I know.
Anyway,
This
yeah,
this
right.
this one's mine for now. So cheers.
If you're a good girl, you may end up with one of these cups. We'll just see about that, Bianca. But I
Gotcha.
think you should have one.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
You should make maybe stickers or something too.
we have those. We have
Oh,
those.
you've got stickers.
We do. We do. Your face is on them too.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
I have
no.
some stickers too with the
Yeah, that's
hoodies.
right.
Yeah,
That's
I love them.
yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Bianca.
Yeah, let's have you share your story about how you went from being a prosecution attorney in Ukraine to basically what you do now, being a digital creator and living in Canada.
Well, maybe I should start from my childhood. I was always a little bit of an idealist, and I wanted to try to change the world to better. And that is why I picked a career of a lawyer. And I was hoping that because there was a lot of corruption and misunderstanding in our society back home, I was hoping maybe I can do a little bit to change it. And then I started working in prosecutor's office in Kiev. I worked for 6 years, but I realized that only one person is not enough to fight the system. And I wanted a more stable future for my kids, and that is why I considered to move to Canada. I also met my husband, future to become husband, in Kiev. We were dating for a year. And then when our relations became serious, we decided to move to Canada. And this is where my first child was born. So I came, yeah.
Yeah, great. That's cool. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't realize that your
Oh,
first child
that's
was
very
born in.
nice.
Yeah.
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 Oh, sorry. My second child was born.
Oh,
My
second. Okay.
second child was born in Canada. Yes,
Okay.
Eva, the 6-year-old now. And yeah, I came to Canada in 2016, and it was a bit of a complicated path because at first I couldn't even bring my first daughter, my older daughter, to Canada. We had to settle all the legal documents, all the legal processes. It took us several months to get her to Canada. I was missing her terribly, and
Yeah.
it was quite tough for both of us. But then I also had to wait for a year and a half to get a legal status in Canada because at that point I had only kind of like a landing visitor status, and only in 2018 I got the permanent residency.
Oh,
This is when I could start looking for job and building my career in here again. But in between 2016 and 2018, it was a bit of a rough patch, and I even had to return back for a year because I was missing home. I
oh,
felt a little bit lonely. I didn't have enough. I didn't have many friends in here,
yeah.
other than my husband's family. And yeah, I felt a bit depressed. I returned back home, but then decided to go for it again. And since then, I was living Canada only to meet my parents in Kiev for a couple of months, and now I'm back here. And I'm happy that I settled in here because I really think that Canada is a great country to bring up your kids, to raise a family, and it cares about its people, has a lot of social programs, and it did help me to take the Reeves College course, because Canada is giving some grants to its students. Yeah, I finished the 2-year graphic design course, and now I'm working as a digital creator at the digital marketing company.
Oh, that is so cool. That's quite a story. And I can imagine, what I really can't imagine, well, first of all, I can't imagine having kids because I don't have any. But if I did, I would imagine being away from them for that long. That'd be really tough, right?
It was really tough. Yeah. Whenever I saw another blonde little girl at the cafe
Oh,
or at the store, I was crying instantly. It was
Wow.
heartbreaking for
yeah.
me.
How long did you have to be without your daughter
Yeah.
3
before?
months. 3
How many?
months. For 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Hmm.
Did you get to talk on the phone or anything, or?
Oh yeah, we were talking on Viber. We were talking on
Okay.
Skype all the time, but it still wasn't enough.
It's
Of
not the same.
course.
Yeah. Not the
Yeah.
same. Well, how do you compare Canada to Ukraine with regard to the type of places each of them, each place has to offer as far as outdoor adventuring goes?
Well, Ukraine has some outdoor places or destinations such as Carpathian Mountains, and we did have Crimea. Unfortunately, right now there is a big fight about it. But the problem in Ukraine is that I lived in central Ukraine in Kiev, and to get to Carpathian Mountains, I had to drive for 11 hours. So
Oh,
you cannot do a quick drive there and back as I can do here in Alberta.
yeah.
And here, the mountains are an hour or an hour and a half of drive from Calgary. And I'm trying to go there as much as possible, and I'm trying to spend at least one day on the weekend hiking the mountains and exploring new destinations, exploring new places, and there are so many of them in here. And that was my love from the first time, from the first hike.
Well, my Sasha sent me pictures when they went skiing in Carpathian Mountains, and it's
Mhm.
like a very beautiful place. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a ski hill, some ski hills in there, and people do like going in there. Just the difference is you cannot go there every week.
Right.
Um,
So what's there in Canada? I mean, you've got a little bit more at your disposal, and I mean, because you can hike. I mean, can you ski there? Because I know you canoe
of
there, right?
course, there are a lot of ski hills around here. There, you can go canoe, you can go skating. My girls and I like to go skating on Lake Louise in
Okay.
winter. It's the views are so amazing, and that lake is beautiful any season of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hiking, ice climbing, rock climbing, scrambling, canoeing, whatever you prefer, running outdoors.
Yeah. Can you do all of that in Ukraine? I mean, is all that available? It just takes a drive to get there, but it still exists, right?
It does exist, yes. You can go canoeing. We have a lot of different lakes in Ukraine too. I did go rafting in Ukraine several times. We have rivers, like rocky rivers, and it's quite fun in there too, especially in the mountains, mountain rivers and lakes. And yes, you can go hike a mountain. It's just, again, it's very remote. That's the difference. And we don't have it that many mountains. Unfortunately, Rockies
Yeah.
are huge, right? And they're spread far away. And for example, if Alberta, to take into consideration Alberta, there are many different microclimates around it, and it's a very big province. And in summer, I was taking the girls to the Badlands. And the scenery changed tremendously. Not only scenery, but also vegetation and animals. Everything looks different. There were cactuses, there were snakes. When I came in here, my husband told me that there are no snakes in Canada because my kids were horrified of them. And I trusted that. But then we go to this Writing on Stone Provincial Park. And the first sign I see while driving in is watch out for the snakes. And that got me very worried. And once I almost stepped on it.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. That was very concerning, but we survived.
Did your husband hear a little bit about that after you discovered there were, in fact, snakes there?
Oh, he heard a lot about that. He's like, I had no idea. Yeah, you can imagine that you can live in one part of the province. You have no idea what's going on in another. It's so huge.
Yeah.
So he didn't fib to you. He just didn't know. He just didn't really know.
No.
That's good. Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with more of the camping show on Talk 4 TV and W4CY Radio. Stay tuned.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "We don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutabaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on the camping show.
And we're back with our guest, Arina Varavkina, on the camping show. And Juan just informed me, he said, CW, I may lose power during this show. So they're having a hurricane down in Florida. And I told them, I really specifically asked them, could you just reschedule that, please, until after the show? So I don't know, maybe the order didn't make it there. So we'll see what happens. But thank you for that, Juan. Arina, let me ask you, what made you decide to switch careers rather than continuing as a prosecuting attorney? I mean, since you had done that for several years up in Ukraine, what made you switch, when you came to live in Canada? I mean, or was it maybe not that simple?
Well, the decision to come to live in Canada made me switch the career because when I came here, I had a 3-year-old daughter and the second one was on the go. And to be able to continue as a lawyer in Canada, I would have had to start from scratch because legal systems of Ukraine and Canada are very different. And not only the language barrier, but also the processes are different as well. And at that moment, I just did not have any time or possibility to start a new 5 years studying for a lawyer. There was just a lot going on. And digital design was something that I was always interested in, and it seemed more of a fun thing to do. And I decided, well, I will try to study for graphic designer. I will try myself in this career because it did give me more flexibility with time and options with my family. And yeah, I decided why not? I enjoy doing it. I will give it a shot, and then if it doesn't work, I will return back to law.
Yeah. Well, that's a great attitude, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find it discouraging? Because I know, of course, law varies from country to country, place to place. So, that, your credits or credentials and things like that may have not have transferred over, like you said. Um, did you always have a plan B, knowing this and going into a different country, or was this something that you wanted to do and it couldn't happen for you based off of your circumstances?
You mean a plan B to continue with legal career?
Yes, like did you have a plan B going into your move to Canada and kind of knowing that you wouldn't be able to be or practice law in Canada?
I am a very open-minded person, and I saw that I'm young, energetic. I have still a lot of time to do what I want to do, and yeah, I didn't mind that. I didn't mind the change. I didn't
Yeah.
mind the risk. I knew I was doing it for my children, and I wanted them to grow in a stable country. And I hate to admit that I was right because right now there is war in my motherland, which is also heartbreaking, right? But I'm happy that my kids are here, well and safe. And the question of career, when you have kids, it does go a little bit on the second plan. And I thought, okay, I will move here, I will settle down, and then see what my options are. And whether if it's going to be graphic design career, that's great. If it's not going to work, I can have a backup plan of becoming a paralegal, legal assistant. Also, because again, I'm still only 36.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I got one quick question for you, and pardon me, but Rena, we all know that attorneys make a hell of a lot of money. Were you filthy, stinking rich in Ukraine and had to give that all up? Just asking.
In Ukraine, they're not that rich. In Canada,
Oh,
they are
wow.
richer.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
So you
because
didn't leave
hourly.
you didn't leave wads of money on the table when you left Ukraine, going, you're not going to leave the Lamborghini here and the Rolls Royce and all that, or anything like that. Like,
No, but I had a nice life in Ukraine too. I was not in need. I had my own apartment. I had everything I needed, right? And I was independent, which
yeah,
is very important for me. When I came in here, I was struggling, and I'm still working on it to get independence, right? Because I think it is quite important for you.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
What kind of law? What did you do in Ukraine when you practiced it? What was your day-to-day like?
In prosecutor's office, it's mostly criminal law, but it can be criminal economic law or criminal law connected with transportation, agricultural law. I was working in a sector which was watching over police. So we were watching for them not to commit any crimes. And then if they do, we would have them represented in court and yeah, this way.
What was your first hiking experience like?
My first hiking experience was very interesting. So I do not take into consideration all the times I would go for short strolls with my girls and my family to the mountains because it's not a real hike. My first real hike was to Johnston's Canyon 2 years ago with a group of women who kindly accepted me into their hiking group. It was Carrie Chan who invited me there, and I was very grateful to her for doing that. But unfortunately, I was not ready on the hike. It was January. I didn't have hiking boots. I didn't have cleats. I didn't have hiking backpack. I didn't take enough food. I didn't take
Whoa.
enough water. I didn't have poles. So I thought, well, okay, it is going to be just a walk in the canyon. What I did not take into consideration that, but I did have winter boots though, but they were just not waterproof and not hiking boots, right?
Wow.
Yeah, the hike started at 10 a.m. And we had to walk 6 kilometers to the trailhead along the road. So it's 6 kilometers there to the trailhead, 6 kilometers back, and another 24 kilometers of the hike itself to
wow.
the ink pots and back. Yes, so it was a very busy day, and my shoes did not survive the half of it.
There.
After several hours, I realized I have water in my shoes.
Oh no.
And my feet, my socks were soaking wet, and it was a terrible feeling.
Oh,
But the
man.
beauty was so overwhelming that I was just ignoring it. And yeah, we took millions of beautiful pictures. I usually take hundreds and hundreds, and then try to go through them days after the hike. Canada has a lot of gorgeous places, and Johnson Canyon is simply mind-blowing to go to in winter. There are walls of frozen waterfalls, and you walk through the canyon, and there is this ponds and many other frozen waterfalls and rocks and yeah, beautiful scenery.
Yeah, Arina, let me ask you a question. Be honest with me. Are you a girl that when you just don't forget the girl, but the person that goes on a hike and you just tough it out, no matter how bad it gets and how soaked your socks are and frozen your feet are, or do you just turn into a whiner, a whiny baby? Do you do that?
Well, I can be a little bit of both.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm both. I mean, I'll tough it out, but I
Yes,
might whine all the way through.
I will finish the hike.
There you go. Well,
But
there's no choice there, really. Either that or you stay in the woods, right?
well, especially there is no choice if you go to summit the mountain and you don't
Right.
know how to get down on your
Right.
own. And if the rest of the group is more experienced and you're like, okay, I'm waiting here. And they're saying, well, but we are not returning back here. We're going to go down from the other side. So what are you going to do?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, oh my God, I don't have any choice.
Yeah, the popcorn
But-
trail doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, but yeah, sometimes you just need to step up your leap and go with it, because the best views are on the top, and the feeling of accomplishment when you see those views and when you know that, okay, you put this work into getting to the final point and you are very proud of yourself. Yes, you were struggling, but it's all behind. And that is the best feeling ever.
Yeah, and I have been to Ukraine, and the Ukraine people that I met there are not, by and large, and I don't know, maybe everyone, but they're not whiny baby people. They're pretty like you said, stiff upper lip, just do it. I like that. That's very commendable. So yeah, I'm sure you weren't, but I had to ask you anyway. So.
There was one hike though that I was whining way too much, and I felt so bad about the hiking companions who took me there. And we got lost on the way. It was terrible scree. I was doing the crab walk for several hours on the way down of the mountain, because there was nothing to hold on to. It was just scree everywhere, and the altitude was quite big, and we lost the trail. And I remember before going on that mountain, I asked the head of the group, like, do you think I can do that? I read it's a very hard mountain, very hard hike. Maybe I should not do that. And no, you can do it. No, you can do it. You're not giving yourself
course.
credit. And then I'm there. There is no way out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did you take me there?
Oh,
How
boy.
could you take me there? No, I can't do it. No, don't
Wow.
you go anywhere from me. Oh yeah, it was terrible. I
Yeah.
feel bad about
You ever
it.
pack a little whiskey on your backpack on the trips, like for just
Yes, they do, but sometimes it's not that good because, yeah, if you're somewhere on an exposed mountain cliff
Oh,
and
yeah.
you are a little bit tipsy because
I
of the
know,
whiskey or
right?
something, it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, but it won't hurt as badly when you fall. Then that way, see, you know.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe
hear
in
you
an
on that.
hour.
Yeah, right.
I'm hearing you.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it.
All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with more of the camping show on Talk 4 TV and W4CY Radio. Be right back.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sights, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "We don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutobaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on the camping show.
And we're back with our guest, Arina Varavkina, on the camping show. Hey, Yuan, we've got some photos that Arina sent us. Could we have you put those up for us, please? Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here, Arina.
Yeah, that was a very exciting hike, which we took in Waterton, and it's called the Crypt Lake. Here I'm hanging on the chain section, and there is a huge drop down and exposure. But JR, who is my very good hiking friend, he's taking a picture of me, and you cannot see the drop down. But to get to that spot, we had to stay for the night in Waterton, then wake up at 6 a.m., take a 8 o'clock ferry to get to the other side of the Waterton Lake.
Oh, wow.
And then we were hiking on the trail for 3 or 4 hours, and then you're going through this little cave in there. You had to kneel down really low and almost crawl through the cave, and on the other side of the cave there is this huge drop down and the chain section to get on the other side. And then when you're past the chain section, there is a beautiful waterfall, and behind the tree line, the Crypt Lake, which the back of the lake is a border with states. I think Oregon is in there, but yeah, the back side of the mountain where that lake ends is United States already.
Oh, wow. Wow. Nice.
So that was me, the closest time I was there to United States, Waterton, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is That is my epic hike to Halin. Ever since I moved to Calgary and I was driving to the mountains with my family or on my own, I would see this beautiful long mountain, which reminded me a spine of a dinosaur. It was so narrow on the very top. And I thought, oh, it would be so nice if I was brave enough to hike it one day. And I was so horrified to go there because I'm afraid of narrow ridges, and this mountain did have a narrow ridge,
Wow.
on narrow ridge, and a chain section also. And I have a friend who was suggesting me to go to this mountain many times, and like the first 4 times, I would always come up with an excuse. I would say, yes, I'm going. Yes, we're making plans. I don't know how he was putting up with me. I feel really sorry. Sorry, Travis. Yes, but he was very dedicated to it. He's like, no, you're going to do it and you're going to do it just fine. And you will be proud of yourself at the end.
See?
And yeah, this is what happened. But I had to cancel 4 previous times before going there. I was super scared. And then I read on the Parks Canada that there were 2 hikers that died on that mountain last year. And yeah,
No,
didn't,
I understand
that did not inspire me at all.
No.
Look at this. You're a paddler too. I think that's impressive. I like that.
Yes, I love everything that is
It
connected
just
with
looks like a
nature.
perfect picture. Oh my God.
I'm going there next year to paddle with her in that lake. Isn't that right,
That
Arina?
would be awesome. Yes,
Yep.
I'll be happy to see you and to do it together with you. Yeah, that is Waterton Lake, Cameron Lake, sorry, in Waterton. And as you see, I think it was spring. I think it was spring because I can see the snow, but it looks so gorgeous on the back of the mountain.
Might
And
have
the
been
snow,
so warm.
yeah, and the snow was melting, and you could see all those waterfalls that were forming from melted snow on the back, and there was a huge iceberg in the middle. It felt really amazing. I love that area a lot. This is a hike to Sea Circle Mountain in Banff, which I think it was also spring because there is lots of snow still in there. The beginning of the hike, we were hit with the rain, but for a true hiker, there is no bad weather. Because we were hiking in blizzard, we were hiking in snow. Once we were hiking in -20, all our faces were covered. Yeah, but those views, they cost a lot, and I never minded going there in any weather.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
This is the lake from Crypt Hike, which I was talking about. After the chain section and the tree line, we could, there was this beautiful lake that opened up to us. And those 2 people were actually, I did not know them in person, but they were following me on Instagram. And there was a funny incident on that lake because there were so many mosquitoes and weird bugs. And I was posing for the picture with JR on the rock. JR is the guy in GTF Outside Blue top. And I was posing there, and suddenly I felt that something was biting me on the butt, but it was under my pants. And while I'm trying to take it out of my pants, this guy is calling me and saying, "Oh, I am following you on Instagram.
Oh my God.
Can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Yes, just let me take this bag out of my pants." But they were really nice people, and we took nice pictures, and we're still in touch on social media.
That's badass nerd next to you, right?
No, it isn't. These the people who are holding the flag, those are wife and husband, and these are the people who were following me on Instagram that I have never met before this hike. No, bad as nerd. We just started hiking with
Okay.
him recently, two,
Kind of
two
looks like
months
him.
ago.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit from the distance.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, this
Oh,
is the most beautiful, one of my most favorite hikes in Alberta, in Kananaskis, is Galatea Lakes Trail. And this is summer, but you can still see the wall of snow. And behind the camera, behind my back, while I'm taking that picture, there was a beautiful waterfall too. So it's one of the most magical places I've ever been. And I've done that hike 3 times now. And I cannot wait to go there again in summer. It is beautiful. Yeah, there are 3 lakes in there, 3 mountain lakes. And this is me sitting in front of the Moraine Lake, which is also one of the most picturesque lakes in Canada. It's a great tourist destination, and if you are in Alberta, you just have to visit that lake because the color of the water is so unique, turquoise, and the scenery of the mountain range around it. I did dip in a couple of times, but I did only in summer when it was like plus 30, because the water in the lakes is, I don't know, maybe 10 degrees. It's freezing
that
cold.
doesn't sound very warm. No.
Freezing cold, yes. But after a long hike on a hit, it will be very refreshing and nice.
Yeah, it gave you a heart attack, man. That's a great picture. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's even a better picture. Look at that one.
Wow.
Yes, that is the hike I've been telling you about, that we spent 12 hours to get up and down. And the hike, then I was using crab walk to get down because it was scree everywhere. But those views, they were totally worth it. And I am so happy I did that hike. This is the area of Spray Lakes in Kananaskis, and we were heading to the Red Mountain Ridge. And we completed it, but the worst part about it was that when at 12 o'clock at night we returned back to the parking lot, I realized I had a flat tire, and there were another 3 hours of drive home.
Oh, wow.
And luckily, JR and our other hiking friend helped me to replace the tire, and they put the temporary tire, and they made sure I got home safely because I had to drive 80 kilometers an hour on the highway, and it wasn't that great. Yeah, but still amazing day, even though I suffered personally, but I felt very proud that I finished that hike.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is my daughter's first hike, my older daughter's first summit. And she needed some help, but there was another girl who they became friends with, and they loved the experience, and they were kind of keeping up together on the trail. And even when Vaya was feeling that she is not going to be able to make it, the encouragement from the whole group was lifting her spirits up. And at the end, she did get to the summit and was also super proud of herself. And yeah, those are the pictures on the summit.
Very cool.
That's incredible. And those are the moments that, really impact a child's character.
Oh, definitely. I'm trying to take them out on hikes for as much as possible because I prefer them to spend time outdoors and learn how to appreciate the beauty of nature rather than to just sit in front of the computer and play silly games.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not
Good for
every
you.
day you see, parents and things like that allowing them to go on vigorous hikes like that. And you'd be surprised. Kids can be very, they can be agile and they can have toughness to them. You have to allow them.
For sure, for sure. You just have to make it fun for them, right?
Yes, that too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the Kings Creek Canyon waterfall, and in winter, that's the beauty of winter hikes, that you can see a lot of gorgeous frozen waterfalls, and sometimes they have kind of like mini caves, and you can go to the heart of the waterfall, and you can still hear in the depths of the eyes the water running and making the soothing sounds. I love winter hikes. Yeah, very beautiful. Yeah, that is the Johnston's Canyon. This is the picture from my first hike to Johnston Canyon. And usually that whole wall is covered with ice, and there will be some ice climbers in the back. And I would always admire them.
Oh, very nice photos. Well, we're running a little short on time, so we're going to go through this a little bit briefly. Arina, tell us about the Ukrainian Women's Support Network you're involved with.
Ukrainian Women Support Network is a group of Ukrainian people, and we have one Russian girl with us too, who has been supporting the fundraisers from the very beginning. And the idea of organizing this group obviously popped up in our heads straight after the news about the war. And on the 24th of February, we decided that we need to do something about it. It was heartbreaking, it was frustrating. We felt like there is nothing we can do. We felt like we're too far, and we couldn't sleep nights. We were talking with our friends and families from back home, which I still have my friends and my parents in Ukraine. And we decided, okay, it's not an option to just sit and panic and cry. We need to do something. And we got together, we made a plan, and luckily all 5 of our members are very organized, very productive, have a lot of ideas. And we decided to make fundraising events. We had 3 paint nights in the downtown lounge. We had fundraising pool party. We had fundraising makeup class, and planning on doing many others. And the money from all of these fundraisers each time, 100% go to the fund in support of Ukraine. So we were sending the money to hospitals in Ukraine to buy medications. We were helping out to charity centers who take care of kids who got hurt during the explosions. And we are trying to buy generators right now for the hospitals because they have electric power outages. And we are working with the big charity organization here in Calgary that is called Ukrainians of Calgary, and helping them out and working together to raise funds for Ukraine.
Excellent.
Arina, where can people follow you on social media and maybe even donate to your women's support group?
Yes, there is an Instagram page that is called Ukrainian Support Network. Yeah, thank you. And Cossacks never give up.
Cool shirts, man. I'm telling
Thank you. I'm still
Everybody
hoping to see you in it.
you will, I
at
promise.
some point.
Yeah. You will.
Yes. Yes, so we have the group Ukrainian Women Support Network on Instagram. I have also a separate page for my fundraising designs, the Gypsy Fox designs, where I also advertise my t-shirts and hoodies with Stand With Ukraine designs and Cossacks Never Give Up. And I also have a new one, Don't Mess With Me, I'm Ukrainian. Yeah, so people can send me a message. And again, 50% from the profit goes into support of Ukraine.
That's awesome. Well, Arina, we would like to thank you. We're out of time. We'd like to thank you for being our guest here in the camping show this evening. It was a pleasure having you here with us.
Absolutely. Very special
Thank
tonight.
you. The pleasure was mine.
Great.
And we'd also like to thank our sponsors for bringing you tonight's show, Campground Views and Rutabaga Paddle Sports.
Be sure to tune in for next week's episode, Self-Defense While Adventuring, with our special guest, Nicholas Polo.
Until then, I'm reminding you, learn more and do more. I'm Bianca Cahew. Have a good night.
See you next week.